with Kids Alley. I was 10 years old in 2010. So everyone, like going up, leading up to camp, everybody on the way to camp, during camp, everyone's excited. It's easy to be excited about something, whether it be God, whether it be going to the football game, going to a baseball game. Everyone's excited, and so it's easy for you to be excited. The hard part is when you're coming back. When you're coming back and you get back to church or you get back to school and everybody starts branching off, then you're back to your real world. When you leave church or camp, you start forgetting why it was important. Some of my friends at school would wonder, well, Chase, why are you acting so weird? Why are you talking about God every day? Or, like, why is it so important? So, when that started happening, that excitement I was feeling from that camp started to deplete. It was starting to vanish. Eventually, the excitement wore off, and I was just back to being the same old me. Isaiah 58 says, "Shout it aloud, do not hold back, raise your voice like a trumpet." This means that we should not be ashamed for that we are Christians, and that we should, every single day, be giving God's word. I'd go to church every once in a while, and if I didn't mean it, I'd stay home and play Xbox in the morning. It really wasn't a big deal to me. My family, all Christian, and we love God every single day. But we weren't at that point in our life where if we went, it was cool. We made our appearance. Everybody knew who we were. I'd go to youth group if I had nothing better to do, or if my mom said, "It's Friday, come on, let's go." If I didn't have anything better to do, I'd go, or else I would just kind of stay home and do whatever I wanted, just relax, kick back. I've always played sports, and it's something I really love. I think it's helped me stay busy and keep me out of trouble. But I started getting burned out the year before high school. It was going to be the first year since I was 6 years old that I stopped playing football, and I was okay with that. I really felt like I deserved a break. I started to play baseball, and I really wasn't the best. Like, I'm a good player, but everybody's better than me. I was hitting low in the lineup. I really, it kind of just gave me a low self-esteem. And I think what I was missing was knowing that God makes you for you. He doesn't make you to be the most perfect person in the whole entire world. He has a plan for you, and He knows what is in store for you. And I think if I would have had that in mind, it would have made a huge difference. I really started at this point, the results of my life, what I was doing, I really wasn't 100% with. I always kind of just got by in school. I didn't really try hard, but I made sure that I got good grades, because we all have the consequences of bad grades. I was more concerned with being cool and funny than really working hard at school. My parents started to get more frustrated with me because I wouldn't help around the house. I'd be lazy, and I had a really bad attitude. I really get angry pretty quickly, and I want to tell them why they were wrong, because I'm always right, which just would get me angrier and in more trouble. I'd still go to church off and on, and while I was there, it all made sense, but then I'd go home and not really pick up on the subject till the next week. My friendships and the people I hang out with, I hung out with them from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. I had been at the same school since kindergarten through 8th grade, and I knew everyone at school. I was pretty popular, but then some of my friends started getting into trouble, and I was getting in trouble more often. I'd always talk too much, but then I got in a fight at school, and it hit me when I got suspended. My parents were asking why I didn't keep hanging out with my old friends. Why are you not going over to your friend's house this weekend? You don't really talk about them that much. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to stop being friends with them. But then I started to do stuff like sneaking out of the house at night or getting in fights at school. Now looking back, it's like God was there trying to get through to me. Or I knew, and I was just ignoring him. But I knew that this was the stuff He didn't want me involved in. Then I got into the teen group. We had two former leaders who then disappeared. And and Jeremy and Linda came. We went to camp in 2015. Was our first year of camp with Jeremy and Linda. I felt when they first came that didn't really have much in common with a bunch of the kids in class. I kind of just sat in there and kind of felt cool. Even though I thought I wanted to be, so we went to camp in 2015, and even though I thought I wanted to be there, for God, like I said, it's easy to be excited when everybody's excited. I was there more to be with, just be there to say, yeah, I'm Christian, I went to camp, it's a fun little week. But I was really there just to look cool for all the other churches. There's probably over 200 to 300 kids at the camp. And I was there to try to be the coolest kid at the camp. That's what I wanted to be. That was right before I started high school. I decided to go to school out of district for high school with my stepbrother Ricky. My parents were all for it. They already had kids at the school in Lincoln. Everyone was surprised though, because I'd go to a school where I really didn't know anybody instead of a school that I was pretty well liked. I really feel like God helped me with this. This could have been an extremely hard decision, but in reality, it was really easy. I just knew that this was going to be the right place for me. In 2016, I went to the camp again with most of the same kids and the same leaders. I went to it thinking that it would be the same as last year. I just fly by being the cool kid. I was looking forward to meeting people and having fun. When I was there, something happened. Something great happened. God just stepped in and took control. I ended up trying to reach out to kids in my own group, and I wanted to help them show that they were loved and God was there for them at all times. I feel like God was leading me to do this. He was also leading me to really look into myself and face some of the things that I didn't show people, and to really know Him. So this year, camp ended up being about my relationship with God, not with other people. When high school started, I started seeing what Jeremy was saying, because me and him talked at camp one night. We just walked out, and he said, once you get into high school, God's going to start showing you tests. He's going to have multiple tests in your faith. And a few that popped in my head at first were the friends you hang out with, the music you listen to, parties you go to. Sometimes your parents are going to be a test. I recently just got a car, so driving. Realizing I'm being tested while it's happening was one of the key things that I learned. I had made bad choices before, and afterwards I'd feel bad, but I really would just shake it off, and in the back of my head would think, alright, they yelled at me, it's cool now. Afterward I feel bad, but now I'm realizing that I've got to make the right choices while they're happening, not just pray about it after. I should be praying before I go to a party or out with friends. Then I'm the one making the right choices and leading by my example. God wants me to lead, not to follow. If my friends are around me making good decisions, then maybe they are more likely to follow my lead. If I'm starting to realize that I'm following God's lead, and by doing His work, maybe I'll lead someone else to Him. I've realized that the closer I am to God, the less worried I am about the other stuff. I'm starting to get more calm. I argue a lot less, and I listen a lot more. Some of that is just growing up, but some of it is growing in faith. Some of my relationships with people have started great and have just gone completely downhill. And some have started terrible and gone up. My real dad hasn't been around most of my life. He has a lot of problems and makes a lot of mistakes. Normally, I don't really think about him or even talk about him. A few months ago, he had asked if I could come visit him in prison. My parents said that I was old enough to make my own decision, even though they were very worried. They let me make the decision. I decided to go see him, and it went really well. I know he was really surprised and happy that I went. I'm still upset about the stuff he's done and what he's put my family through. But you can't write people off because they don't do what you want or act how you like. Even if you feel like they don't deserve your time, love, or your patience, you need to just be loving. God could say the same thing about us, right? Right? He could write a whole big list of all the ways we've let him down, disappointed him, done something wrong with somebody else, but he doesn't. He just keeps on loving. When I hear that, it just makes me feel like, well, say my dad took away my Xbox for a week, how could I forgive him, right? So in my heart, I feel like I want to be more like God. I know I can't be God, but I want to be more like him. My dad hasn't been in my life much, and he's made a lot of mistakes, but I've been able to forgive him and for who he is, instead of me spending time and energy hating him or being resentful. I'm choosing to lead him by my example. I've also become more focused in school, church, and sports. I'm participating more in class, and I'm putting myself out there in class discussions and asking questions when I don't understand things. I'm not just that funny kid now. I've worked harder the last 2 years than I think I ever have in sports or conditioning. It's exhausting. But I'm also seeing results, and I'm proud of myself. I'm not saying that God is making me a better athlete, because we all know God does not care about sports. But I think that my faith in God is making me a better person, and I'm showing in all my things that I'm doing. My favorite verse is Philippians 4:13. My mom sends a text to me before almost every sporting event, big thing I do. It's I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Now, a lot of you know me and might shake your head like, hey, aren't you the kid that, or didn't you say this one time? But I'll just let you fill in the blank. I'm not saying I'm perfect or suddenly have all the answers. Ask my parents. I still get in trouble, still should stop talking instead of arguing, but I am right. Should study more, and sometimes I'll listen to music with a few inappropriate lyrics. I still sin. I'm not perfect by any means, but now I know I sin. I don't make excuses for it, but what I try to do is do better. God is using some of these struggles inside of me to teach me, and it's up to me to figure out the lessons and let him guide me. I've talked to my parents and Jeremy and Linda about my future. I know I'm only a sophomore, but first I just want to say Jeremy and Linda inspired me. I'm so glad they took over our youth group, and they really do support us here. Jeremy and Linda have come to plenty of my sporting events, my football games, baseball games, and they've given me plenty of rides to and from church. They really are people I know I can trust and count on, and who really want to help me. I'd really like to be able to be a youth leader one day, and be able to reach out to kids just like me and show them who God is, and that they are really valued and cared about. I'm only a sophomore in high school, but I plan on going to college to study law and minor in theology. But I know God will send me in the direction I'm meant to go in. In closing, I'd like to say, I know I'm a kid who has a lot to learn, but God is changing my life. I'm lucky to have a Christian family and have gone to camp where people can answer my questions and lead me to be saved. But you don't have to be a kid at camp for this to happen. You may be 45 years old sitting here right now, going through all these same problems, but instead of worrying about peer pressure at school, it may be work. You may be thinking to yourself, man, I'm too old to be saved. That's something you start young and you grow into. Or you might be worried about what your friends are going to think, because now you're the weird kid, the weird guy at work, talking about God. But God can be your strength like he is mine. The last thing I want to say is this verse, Romans 12:2. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove that the will of God is that which is good and acceptable and perfect. Thank you.